this is Maria. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a mixture of a Montessori inspired spaces and also some studies behind certain things you want to implement with your babies. So generically saying, it is Montessori for babies and why it is important to set the proper environment. One of the keystones of a Montessori approach is creating independence and self-reliance in children. It's setting up the environment in a way that they don't need the adult to perform all the easy tasks that they are capable of performing by about the age of 18 months. But to get to that point, you have to give your child a proper environment starting birth. What does the proper Montessori environment means? Well, it means not using a lot of modern day things such as extra sources, walkers, gates, and all other things that actually confine your child in a certain space, plus also confine their freedom of movement. And here is why. In today's world, it actually is proven that babies start crawling and walking later, and the reason for it is our lifestyle. We tend to confine young children to certain things like extra sources, walkers, again, things that don't help them develop certain muscles. Everything in your body is supposed to build up on each other, every single skill you have. That's why first babies start to push them up in a tripod, then they start scooting forward, then they start pulling up, training those ab muscles, because if the ab muscles aren't developed, they're not able to sit. Then they learn from a sitting position, getting into the rolling. So all of that development is required for them to further be doing standing up to pulling and walking. If your child does not get appropriate amount of physical exercise developing those muscles, they're not gonna go just from laying on their back to walking. There is multiple steps that are in between them. And some of the things that you might want to do, and that actually also develops independence in your children, which is a very important skill, is let your child exercise. What I mean by that, when they are at the stage of a tummy time, put the toy in front of them when it is within their reach, but don't give it to them. Observe them, let them practice those muscles by pulling up, reaching. That's the first prerequisite for them to be able to walk in the future. Children love mirror play, so having mirrors at their level in your environment will be very, very helpful for them to get interested, crawl to it, touch it. Another great thing for a Montessori bedroom for a younger child is having a beam right in front of the mirror. I will show you example on the screen. I actually did not have it with my children, but what I created for them instead of the beam, which I actually think is a great thing to have, we just worked with what we had. I purchased a shelf, actually very much like the one behind me. This is still baby Justin's from when he was a baby. So the mirror and a shelf where he could pull himself up, and I had a very similar contraption for my daughter when she was little, and he could play, watch himself in the mirror, bang things. It's a very great way for them to practice pulling up, and in a way that is interesting for them. The longer they can stand and balance, the stronger their muscles will be. Also a great way to encourage development, physical development, fine motor skills, and also do it in a Montessori way, is to avoid toys with lots of buttons, bright lights, singing, and all those things. Now, it's not entirely terrible to have those. I've had some of them as well, but the thing is that they aren't developing any skills for your children. They need the toys that help them twist, that help them pull apart, that they help them put things together, because they're practicing multiple skills that are required for them in the future to develop their pincer grasp, their hand-eye coordination. So now I've actually did the entire video on materials from 0 up until the age of 3 that are Montessori, and I will link it for you on the screen, and also you can check out my whole Montessori playlist. Also, there are other materials that I've actually grouped by ages that you might want to check out that are not Montessori related, but also work on important skills for your children. Letting your children be on the ground as much as possible. Yes, it could be a pain, especially if they're in this crawling age, and for us who lives in Florida, that could be a pain with tiles, but nothing is going to develop your child's muscles more than practice. And in a Montessori environment as well, you want your child to explore the world on their terms. So setting up a proper environment where actually everything that is around them and is in their reach is meant for them is a great idea. So when you're setting up your environment, of course it needs to be safe. You need to have the covers and the plugs, you need to make sure the cords aren't hanging, but create the environment that there is safe for them to explore on their own terms. So let your child struggle when they are performing the task. Don't rush to help them right away, because you're taking away the process of them learning how to figure it out on their own. It will take them much longer and it's going to be much messier than if you get involved, but that's part of life. Observe your children more and get involved less is the best part of the advice that I've personally ever gotten. And you know, with my first child, I've not followed that, and I should have. Because when you give your children everything before they even have an opportunity to truly ask for it, they start relying on you much more. If you want to create an independent personality, give them opportunity to fail, give them opportunity to learn, and give them opportunity to practice that independence. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you guys. Make sure to leave me in the comments below any questions that you might have. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like if you did, and check out my Montessori activities playlist and activities for kids as well. And I will see you soon.